Hello my dear students, today we are going to see few more examples on Gauss elimination method. So let us jump into it. So first of all we will write down this system in matrix form and we will consider the augmented matrix. Now let us circle the leading coefficients first because we have to convert this matrix in echelon form now. So my leading coefficients are 4, 1 and 15 respectively. So we have to make this use of this entry in order to make all the entries below it to be 0, but as you can see that entry is 4. Even if we divide it by 4, we will get some fractions in the first row, so we will avoid that. But you can see that in the second row we are having that 1 over here. So what can I do is I will interchange first row and second row. So by performing R12, so this will be equivalent to 1, 1 minus 3 minus 1, 4 minus 2, and what you can do is you can divide this second row by 2 and you can divide this third row by 3, because you can see that each entry in the second row and each entry in the third row is divisible by 3. So I will say on R2 we will perform 1 upon 2 R2, and on R3 we will perform 1 upon 3 R3. So this will be equivalent to, now again I will circle the leading coefficients here. Now you can see that this first entry in the first row is already 1. So with the help of that we will make all these entry below it to be 0. So which operations I will perform, can you guess? Yeah, so after getting this matrix, our next job is to again circle the leading coefficients. Now you can see that our condition, the second condition of echelon form is not satisfied because the leading coefficient should be on the right hand side, but it is exactly below, one below another. So we have to make use of this minus 3 in order to make the entry minus 6 to be 0. But as I told you, first of all we will try to make that minus 3 as 1, and you will wonder that each entry in that second row is divisible by 3. So if you divide it by minus 3, then it will work, we will not get the fractions and we will get 1 also. Similarly in the third row also you can see that each entry is a multiple of 6, so that we will divide by minus 6. So on R2 we will perform the operation minus 1 upon 3 R2, and on R3 we will perform minus 1 upon 6 R3. So this matrix will be equivalent to, yes, now we can see that it is easier for the calculations as well. Now simply I will make this entry to be 0 by performing R3 minus R2. Now you can see that this matrix has been converted to echelon form. Now let us circle the leading coefficients. So you can see that the number of non-zero rows in a matrix A is 2, because you will consider a matrix before this line, right? And so therefore the rank of A is 2, and if you see this matrix as a whole, still a number of non-zero rows are 2. So rank of A and rank of augmented matrix in this case both are 2, and the system has a solution because the ranks are equal. So I will say therefore rank of A is equal to rank of augmented matrix is equal to 2, which is equal to number of unknowns or less than number of unknowns. The number of unknowns in this example is 3, x, y, z are the unknowns, right? So which is less than 3, which is equal to number of unknowns. Thus given system has infinite solution. Now whenever we are having the infinite solution, so the question is number of parameters that we can use. So how many parameters we can use here? It is number of unknowns minus the rank whatever we get. In this case number of unknowns are 3 and we got rank to be 2. Simply the subtraction of that is 3 minus 2, that is 1. So I will say number of parameters is 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1. Now Now the question is, what do you mean by parameter and how to use it? I will just tell you within a minute. So first of all, what we will do is, we will write down the equivalent system with the help of this matrix. So I will say system equivalent to given system is, so what is our system? X plus y minus 3z is equal to minus 1 and y minus 3z is equal to minus 2. Now since we have written the equivalent system, now the question remains the use of parameter. So parameter actually is used for the variables in this equivalent system. Now over here you can see three variables, x, y and z, but we cannot use parameter for any variable, there are restrictions. So we have to use parameter for such a variable that will give us the values of x, y, z. So just let me give an example. If you use parameter for x, let us say using parameter for x means I am going to simply put x is equal to t, where t is some real number. If number of parameters are more, you can go for t1, t2 or r, s, t, okay, somewhat like this. Now if we put x is equal to t, you will find that we got the value of x as t, but we cannot get the values of y and z that easily. Actually we will have y minus 3z is equal to minus 1 minus t and y minus 3z is equal to minus 2, and if you subtract, I hope we will not get anything. So it is not possible for us to get the values of y and z. So our ultimate aim is to find out the values of x, y, z in terms of parameter. So therefore the parameter for the variable x cannot be used in this case. So now the question remains for the variable y and variable z, and the nice thing is now we can use the parameter for variable y or variable z, choice is ours, because even if I use the parameter of z, so I can get the value of y in terms of t, let me call it as f of t, and once you get the value of y, we already have the value of z to be t, simply put it in first equation and get the value of x, and our job is done, we got our solution. Now why our solution is containing the parameter? Because our system is having infinite solution and parameter is nothing but any arbitrary real number. So if you choose some value of t, so for each value of t you are going to get a solution of a system. So there will be infinitely many choices for t, right, because this t is a real number and that will give us all solutions. And even you can use the parameter for y as well. So if you put y is equal to t, then you will get z in terms of f1 of t, I will say, function may be different, and then we will put the values of z and y in the first equation to get the value of x. So this is the entire process that we are going to use in each and every example that we are going to come across. So we will use the parameter for z, right, because we always go for simplified things. So if we use parameter for z, you can see that fractions are not coming, but if I use parameter for y, then there will be certain fractions, okay. So this is the way to decide that for which variable we have to use the parameter. You can use for y and z, y or z, any one, that is your choice, but we go for the simplified one. So over here I will use the parameter for z. Z is equal to t, where t is a real number. So we got the value of z in terms of parameter directly, that is t. Now we will put z is equal to t, okay, let us give them names in 2. So if you put it in 2, therefore what will be my value of y? My value of y will be minus 2 plus 3t. Now we got the value of y. Now I will say put the value of y and z in 1 to get the value of x. So I will say put y and z in 1. So therefore x plus minus 2 plus 3t minus 3, your z is t is equal to minus 1, therefore x, I think this 3t and 3t will get cancelled out. So I will be left with x minus 2 is equal to minus 1. So this will be equal to minus 1 plus 2, and therefore x is equal to 1. So we got the value of x as well. So what is our solution then? So I will say therefore, now whenever our system is having an infinite solution, we write it in the set form. So x is 1, y is minus 2 plus 3t, and our z is t, such that t belongs to R. Even you can write a unique solution case also in a set form, that is also right, that can be done. So therefore is a solution set, but whenever you write a solution in terms of set, you have to mention the word set. So is a solution set of a given system. Yeah, now if you put a value of t, let us choose the value of t to be 0. So if I choose t to be 0, I will get minus 1 2 0. So this will be the solution of the system, and if I choose t is equal to 1, I will get 3 minus 2 is 1 1. So this 1 1 1 will also be a solution. In this way you can choose any value of t, and for each value of t you will get a solution of the system, and thus our system has infinite solution. Now the verification part is left. This is optional. We actually verify when we have time in the exam, means at the end, right? So this is optional, so I will say verification over here. So how to verify? So all the three equations of the system should be satisfied. So first of all we will go for the first equation. Let me give them as name as A, B and C. So first of all we will check for equation A, then equation B and equation C. So I will check only for equation A, B and C you can do it on your own. So 4 multiplied by 1, just put x is equal to 1. So I will say LHS. So LHS will be equal to, if you put x is equal to 1, y is equal to minus 2 plus 3t and z is equal to t. So this will be equal to 4 plus 4 minus 60 plus 60. So t and 60 minus 60 will get cancelled out, and this is it, that is nothing but RHS. So in similar way you can check for equation B and C. I leave it to you, and if whatever calculations we have done that are right, then what should happen is all these three equations should be satisfied. If one of these three equation is not satisfied, what does it mean? So you have made some mistake while finding the solution. In this way you can verify whether your solution is right or not.